All right, if you haven't read your word today, don't worry, we're about to dive in. This comes from 1 Peter verses 24 through 25. It says, "For all flesh is like grass, and all its glory like the flower of grass. The grass withers and the flower falls, but the word of the Lord remains forever." Now, I really like this verse and I wanted to highlight it today because it's so visual. I feel like I'm a very visual person, so whenever there's these really visual writings in the Bible, it makes a lot of sense to me. So talking about the flesh like grass, I think that's such a good comparison. It says that like grass withers away, our flesh will too. And I think it's something that we don't often think about. People are so obsessed with, building their flesh up all the time, preserving it, whether that's like Botox or plastic surgery or even just like hyper fixating on how we look all the time, like looks maxing. But the reality is, in 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, no matter how hard you try, your flesh will eventually wither away like grass does. So I love that imagery. But I also love the statement here that, even in 100, 200, 300 years, the word of the Lord remains forever. And I think that's just such a good statement. And I think it kind of plays into that concept of, like, where are your treasures stored up? Are they stored up here on earth in things that will rust and wither away, or are they stored up in heaven? Where's your heart lay? Is it on things of this world, or is it on things of, a higher world, heaven? And I think that's such a cool concept, and I just want to talk about that. So that's my verses of the day. So yeah,